And again, I think this concern that I have about the sort of the direction that content marketing thought leadership is taking people in is reflected in the 8 big questions that are left over from the Content Marketing World 2017 conference. Essentially saying that these should be on the tip of your tongues really all year round. So what are these big questions that they're talking about? So what if we think about our content marketing like George Lucas did about Star Wars? Well, I just struggle with that because, here I am. You might say I'm a content marketeer, although actually I'm an intelligent content marketeer. What am I supposed to learn from, the statement that we should start thinking, like George Lucas did about Star Wars? I just simply don't understand that. Secondly, what if we look for unexpected audiences? Well, I mean, apart from the fact that you don't have any audiences, what you have is a bunch of individuals that, you're potentially going to have a relationship with. What's an unexpected audience? Again, I just struggle to sort of, complete my understanding of their vernacular here. Moving on, what if our audience tells our brand story? Why would they? Why would anybody engage in promoting, what you think you're all about? Don't they have enough things to do? Isn't it your job to communicate your brand story, not your so-called audience? Okay, I think this is a real telltale too. What if we pay more attention to our customers than our industry? Well, bingo. One of the burning questions that I've always had about this thing called content marketing, and in fact any of these sort of advertising industry awards and anyone else is sort of patting themselves on the back because of their creative genius in communicating. All these sort of awards type things, I've never really given them any truck because I have to ask myself the question, if I win one of these awards, how does that help me provide a better experience to my customer? I just simply don't understand that it's going to add any value. All it's going to do is going to say to my customers, look, what I'm doing is I'm not really concentrating all my efforts on what's important to you. I'm really, faffing around at the back end trying to get peer recognition for how brilliant I am. So, if this is a burning question to be asked all year round, what if we pay more attention to our customers than our industry? I think the Content Marketing Institute is saying everything about themselves because it's not about, about the content marketeers, so to speak, and the industry and the professional, the noise that they make and the opinions they've got and all the patting on the back that goes on to say how good they are at what they do. Ultimately, marketing is about the customer. It's not about anything else. And you should be directing all your efforts and energy in delivering value to your customer and helping them by helping them answer their questions and solve their problems. So anyway, I think that Content Marketing Institute have really sort of led us down the garden path in this regard, because not only do we not have a common definition of what it is that we're talking about when we utter the words content marketing, but we all just seem to be so full of ourselves as to why they're so good at what they do. And, when you read the rest of these questions, I think you're left with a conclusion that there doesn't seem to be any real joined-up thinking here, and there doesn't seem to be sort of any appreciation of how content marketing per se, doesn't actually vie with how the real world works. We live in a connection economy, not an industrial economy. And with a connection economy, you start things differently, and you use content to communicate your final messaging in, having designed a strategy for the connection economy, and that strategy is something I'm going to be alluding to a little bit later as we move through the rest of the presentation.